Hi! Today I want to make a card using Stampin' Up's Quint-Essential flower stamp. The stamp is designed to use with a lot of different punches, the 2 scallop punches and some circle punches, and you can stamp it and do it in layers, which is the way we're going to do it. You could also do it, just stamp it and do it in a single color as well. I'm also going to work with some scraps of paper from the PB&J collection from Basic Gray. I love this paper pad. It's really, really versatile, and I've done a lot of things with it already, so I have some scraps, and I've cut them into 3-inch long strips that we'll be putting on the bottom of the card. And I used the paper collection as the color inspiration, so I have 4 colors of ink that I will stamp my flower with. So let's start there. On white cardstock, I'm going to stamp using each of the colors, I'm going to stamp the flower design, and then I'll be punching out the part that I need out of that color. This is a great card if you need to make multiples, since you'll be stamping and cleaning and stamping and cleaning. If you've got multiple cards to make, you could get a little bit more. You could go ahead and do 3 or 4 of your blue ones or 3 or 4 of your red ones and so forth to make it a little bit more efficient. I'm going to start with my lightest color, the crushed curry. And this is the one that's going to go in the very center, so I'll probably need to trim this down just a little bit. And I'm using the 3/4 inch circle punch. That's the one that's going to go in the middle, and then I'll just I'll clean it and keep stamping each of the other colors. And also something else that I have that's new is the Pool Party ink, and this is the new Stampin' Up ink pads that are a foam pad, and so far I'm really pleased. Now I really don't need to ink the whole image here because I'm going to be cutting out just the center part of it. Get a good crisp image with these new ink pads. So I'm going to cut a circle out here, and I don't have a circle punch, so I'll use the Creative Memory circle cutter, and then I'll continue on with the green and the red. Okay, so I'm going to punch my green flower out of the smaller scallop punch. And I'm going to do my red one out of the extra large scallop punch, the 2 3/8. I switched up red colors. The Riding Hood red wasn't giving me as good an impression, so I switched to a color box chalk ink. Alright. So now these are how my layers will go together. And before I glue them all down, I'm going to add a brad through these first 2 layers. And adhere that with glue dots, dimensionals, to the next layer. And then just glue it on. Okay, and I'm going to tie a little bit of baker's twine around these first two layers. Okay. Now we're ready to put our card together. Now we're ready to put our card together and put our different colors on. I'm going to mark a line at 3 inches from the bottom, so I'll know where to start gluing each of these layers down. And each of the layers that I put down, I'd like to go ahead and trim these, give them an angle, and put some inking around the edge. I'll do my trimming just kind of randomly. Some of them I'll have them go all the way to the bottom, others I'll have them go up a little bit. Just different lengths. Okay, I have taken all of the strips and I've added a little vintage photo distress ink to the edges of them. And to glue them on, I'm just going to use a tape runner and go all the way across 2 or 3 rows here. It doesn't matter to me if the bottom hangs off a little bit, or excuse me, the bottom doesn't have adhesive on it, more like flags that way. And I'll just start layering these down. They can overlap a little bit because I have a little bit more width, I think, here than the actual card. Okay. Now I'm ready to glue the ribbon in place. Using a sticky tape from Creative Memories. You could use the red sticky strip or other glue for your ribbon, or you could sew your ribbon on. Oops. And I decided for this card I was running a little low on this yellow ribbon and I didn't want to wrap it all the way around. I didn't need it to tie anyway because I had enough going on the front of the card. So I just have it going to the edges and then a couple of staples here on this edge to hold it down. Okay. And for this side I'm going to go ahead and put my flower in place, and I think I've got enough dimensions, so I'm just going to glue it in place. Trim off my strings. And my sentiment will be a thank you sentiment from Hero Arts. You could use this card for really anything. Birthday, get well. Very generic card. And it has a little something around the top, and one of my favorite things is paper piercing. And I went ahead and ordered the new paper piercing pack from Stampin' Up! It has all these great templates in it. I'll warn you, if you order this and you don't already have the big shot and all of the cutting dies that go for these, you'll want them. This is like the most enabling thing I've ever bought. As soon as I started working with it, I was like, I really need this and I really need that, and I don't have all these things, but you can still use it even if you don't have all this. It still makes pretty scallops, and it has templates that go around hearts and circles and stuff. So, so there's a lot of advantage here even if you don't have every punch or every die that it works with. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and start doing some paper piercing. One of the things I like about this is they made the template much larger than the old one, so it goes all the way across the card without having to move it and line everything back up. So I'll finish my paper piercing. And there's our card using the Quint-Essential flower stamp and lots of different pattern designer paper. You use a lot of scraps with this and a real simple sentiment, and you have a pretty card. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope you'll visit my blog and leave comments. Thank you.